Happy Monday, mommies. Today we are joined by Kendra. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. And this handsome face right here is Landon. He is one of two. He is a twin in London. Right on cue. So Landon or London, do y'all want to say how old y'all are?
How old are you?
5.
You're
How old are you?
5.
She is proud of it too. So Kendra, we'll just get right into it. Tell us about your journey to motherhood.
It was a very interesting one. I found out that about 2 years into Marcus and I being married, I found out that I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. So what comes with that is infertility. Mm-hmm. We tried for after that I guess we really didn't think much of it. And then about 4 years in, about 4 years in, we really started to try. And we tried everything short of IVF. Once we got to that point, I was like, I can't take the medication was making me sick, making me gain weight, and I was like, I'm done. So what I did was I stopped taking all the medication, started eating better, exercising, all of that good stuff. London, get down, please. And I started exercising, actually had started getting in pretty good shape, and all of a sudden I found that I was pregnant. So when we were expecting only one. The doctor said we were having 2, of course. Got put out on bed rest at about 3 months, I think. Mm-hmm. And I ended up having them 5 weeks early, 2 days after my birthday.
All right. Happy birthday to you.
Right. So yeah, it was crazy, to say, a whirlwind, because like I said, I wasn't expecting to get pregnant, let alone to be pregnant with twins.
Right.
So that was definitely something to
like, what was the initial reaction when they told you that it was twins? Was it when you had the ultrasound? Like,
yes, my
find out
first ultrasound. Ultrasound. It made me wait till about 8 weeks. And everybody that I work with were already saying, you're showing so fast. It has to be twins. I'm like, no, not twins.
It's just a big baby.
And we went in. Right. I think we went in the day before Thanksgiving. And I found out that, because she was like, okay, so we're going to check for the heartbeat. And she was like, wait a minute, I see something else. But I need to make sure that it's not another heartbeat. I was like, no, we're good. And she's like, yeah, it's definitely 2 in there. And me and Marcus just looked at each other. And we were like, yeah, we're done after this. We're good. We're so good.
You got a 2-for-1 special going on.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and we found out at about, I think, 15 weeks, we were having a boy and a girl.
So then you like ultra done. We hit
right.
We good.
Exactly. So, exactly. Got all we need right here.
Right.
At the same time.
So with that, the infertility and the finding out that you're having twins, and then getting put on bed rest, and then having them 5 weeks early, how was that for you? Like, did you know that you were going to have them early, that they were going to be premature, or was it something that happened as it went on? Was it planned or unexpected?
We were told from the beginning that twins naturally come early for the most part. I just wasn't expecting them that early, because I actually almost lost them twice.
Oh no.
At like 18 weeks, and I think again at like 23 weeks. Mm-hmm. Which is part of the reason why I was put out on bed rest. And so I was feeling good. I think I had a doctor's appointment on my birthday, And I was feeling good. Like at that point, to me, I'm like, bed rest, I'm good. They're not coming no time soon. And then I started having contractions. Shayna was here. She came down for my birthday.
Oh,
And she
for
took
those of
me
y'all
out
who
to,
don't know, Shayna went to high school with Kendra and I. Kendra and I went to high school together, and she's
yes,
my brother's best friend.
yes. And Shayna has been she's been there from day one. And she came down for my birthday and she took me out to eat. Like, we were doing everything. We actually went to go see my husband on his job. We were out doing everything. And like that following day, I felt horrible.
Mm.
So all of us just kind of laid around and ate just all day, took naps on and off. We were good actions.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, because we've gone through this before. You know, Braxton Hicks, everybody has those. And I
Right.
was like, that's probably what it is. I'll just call it because they've been when I was having Braxton Hicks, they would tell me I needed to call just to make sure that I time them, to make sure that I'm not going into labor. So I was like, yeah, this is basically something that I do all the time. So we're good. And
Mm-hmm.
so eventually the contractions got like 5 minutes apart. So I called the emergency room and they're like, you should be okay, but if you want to come in, you can. I was like, no, not really. And so the doctor called at about 8. My doctor called at about 8. He was like, I'm seeing here that you called last night. Why didn't you come in? He's like, you're going to mess around and have those babies at home. You better get in here. So I was like, no, we're not having babies today. We actually took our time. We ate breakfast. And so about 10 o'clock, we got to the doctor. We got to the emergency room, and he checked our cervix. He was like, yeah, we're going to have babies around 2 o'clock today. It's like, what? He's like, yeah, we're going to have babies around 2. He's like, we're not going to try to have them naturally because Landon was up. They were in there T-shaped. He was just in
Okay.
there kind of laid out. And she had been head down for a while. And they were like, we didn't want to. You're right, exactly. To the point to where they couldn't even get an ultrasound of her head because she was so far down. And he was just up there laid out chilling. And the doctor was like, we don't want to chance him not turning because you'll have a natural birth and then you'll have to go and have an emergency C-section.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, yeah, we'll just schedule your C-section for 2 o'clock. That was the longest 4 hours of my life. Because we literally was in there from 10 to about 2:05, just kind of hanging out, them checking me, making sure that the babies were okay.
Yeah.
So at about 2:15, she came, and 2:17, he came.
Mm. So in all of that, and saying that London was right there ready to come, and Landon was just chilling. How does that relate to how they are now? Because you said
Completely.
Landon took a little while for his teeth to come in, then London, she was like, my teeth are
She's
here.
ready to eat.
Right.
It was like, because they kind of back and forth with each other. Like, he was walking at 10 months, but she didn't walk to 14 months.
Mm.
So they've been kind of back and forth on stuff like that. He's more of a mover. Like, he has to be on it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Their personalities are completely different. Like, with her, you can give her tablet and make sure she got something to eat, and you'll forget that she's in the house. With him, he needs to be entertained, or he's going to start getting into stuff. And he hates to play by himself. Like, he's not a loner at all. She's more like me. She's perfectly fine being by herself.
Mm.
Like I said, as long as she has her tablet or something to watch on TV, she's fine.
Woo. So with that, you and Marcus, how has it been for y'all with them as infants, seeing them grow into toddlers, and now they're young kids right now? How has that journey been for you?
Extremely emotional because he was only 4 pounds at birth. So I went from seeing him hooked up to all these tubes and being in NICU for a week and a half to now they're taking showers by themselves. Like, they want to do stuff by themselves. They don't want you to help. They'll tell you they don't want you to help. So it's like, it's been because I was a stay-at-home mom for a year and a half. So I was literally there every waking moment. I breastfed for 14 months. So, and then Marcus worked. So I was literally there for every single thing.
Right.
And so now being back at work, I feel like I'm missing a lot because it seems like they change every day now. They'll be doing something different or they'll be saying something different. And it's like, well, I don't necessarily want to be a stay-at-home mom because I like working, but I feel like I'm missing a lot.
Right. Now, I want to touch back on that. You breastfed. So you breastfed both of them.
Yes.
Now, were they feeding at the same time or at different times?
Yes. When they were smaller, I did feed them at the same time, but when they got bigger, it was not happening. So we would have to right. When they were smaller, I could hold them like one here and have one over here.
Mm-hmm.
But as they got older, I would do one at a time, and then I would pump right after. So they had acid reflux.
Okay.
So what I would do is I would pump to have a bottle at night, so they wouldn't throw up so much during the night. And I would pump and then put a little bit of, the doctor said it was okay, put a little bit of cereal. Put a little bit of cereal in the bottle at about, I think, 4 or 5 months, just to make it a little bit thicker so they'll sleep longer.
Right. We ask doctors for their advice, everyone. We ask.
I just wanted to say that because I know there's a lot of moms that be like, no, you're not supposed to do that.
No.
But I did make sure because they were throwing up a lot.
Yeah.
So like I said,
to moms, always ask your doctor, but then sometimes your doctor will always say, do what's best for you and your children. As long as it's not causing them harm, because some things work for some mothers, some things don't. If you need sleep, put that cereal in there.
Exactly. I agree with that 100%. I said we started at about 4 or 5 months because they were literally throwing up everything. Like right after they ate, it started. And he was like, we got to do something to keep it down so they'll start gaining weight like they're supposed to.
Right.
So we did, and they did. They got fairly chunky, fairly fast.
Fairly chunky, fairly fast. So with all of that, how you said you were a stay-at-home mom for a year and a half. What was it like being active with them in that year and a half? Like, how did you help them develop their motor skills in that year and a half?
We did tummy time.
Tummy
that
time.
was like the biggest thing, even though it would turn into nap time fairly fast. I got on the floor with them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I got on the floor with them a lot. Like we stayed on the floor. I put down some of their favorite blankets, like that had the characters that they like. So of course they want to go for that. Mm-hmm. He caught on really fast. It was her that hated tummy time. She hated anything having to do with moving. She didn't want to crawl. She didn't want to do She didn't want to do any of it. She would pitch a fit. Him, like I said, by the time he was 10 months, he was on the move, like climbing on stuff, all of that. So my biggest thing was just tummy time. We just got on the floor. Like I would get down there with him.
Yeah.
For her, like try and put like some little food or whatever that she liked, or her bottle.
Right.
Pacifier, that kind of stuff. We just, like I said, just played with them.
Okay.
Not put too much stress, because from my understanding, that if you put them down there and they cry, all they do is cry, then they won't want to do anything.
Yeah.
So just try to make it entertaining.
Nice. And then my last question, how did you prepare yourself? Because you knew you were going back to work. How did you prepare yourself to mentally go back to work? Knowing that, you might miss some things and everything.
Right. I said I was ready, but apparently I wasn't, because I almost cried every day in the car, like before I got ready to go in. Like, I'm leaving my baby. They're going to grow up and they're not going to know me. But even though we all know that's not true.
Right.
That was just my rationale at the time. because I had been with her for so long, I was ready to go back to work for my mental health. Oh, that's still like my everyday struggle, like being here versus wanting to be out in the workforce.
Right.
And doing my own thing. And then, like I said, on top of running my own business and all of that kind of ties in with just the everyday struggle of being a mom who wants to work, but also wants to make sure that she's doing the best that she can for being there with her. So it's still a struggle.
Right.
They're still alive and kicking.
Very well at that. Very well. Well, Landon, I'm going to give you your mama back. He's like, okay. I want to say thank you so much. And there goes London. Like I love to say, we all have different journeys, but we can all learn something from someone.
Absolutely.
So thank you again, Kendra.
Thank you. Say
And
bye.
also, those of y'all who don't know, Kendra makes candles. I'll put her information at the bottom. Bye.
Bye. Y'all are silly.
Hello, mommies. I hope you enjoyed today's interview. Make sure you share and subscribe and click that bell at the top. We'll see you next Monday. Say bye, Micah.